Listen, the nature is made of teachers and student. If you're a student and you're sincere, there's a teacher. This is a law. It will always be. So it's not because your average individual is drowning in their insecurities and fantasies of reality that teachers don't exist and that sincere students don't exist. No, there are sincere students. There's always been sincere students. The issue is that there are more insincere people than sincere. And we live in the age of information, if we can call it like this, where everybody pretends that they know something. This is a common thing on the internet. Everybody's an expert now. Everybody has an opinion about everything. Everybody knows everything, right? But who's an expert? I've spent the past 20-some years of my life studying the human body, health, healing, and disease. And I feel I'm just at the beginning. And here you have a person who watched a 5-minute video who's an expert. Everybody's an expert. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is a great group. I don't want to say a great majority of people. It's a lot of people. And the age of the internet facilitates that illusion. Once upon a time, let's say I'm an electrician. Or let's say I'm a guy who a mason. Not a Freemason, a guy who puts bricks, right? That's what I do. I go up, I wake up in the morning at 4:30, dress up, take my car, my truck, or walk or run, or whatever it is, go to the come on, how you call this? Construction zone, and begin. And on my way there, I'm not listening to a podcast. There is none. I'm talking to my friend or my brother who's in the same field. When I go there, maybe I'll talk to the engineer, or maybe I'm talking to the architect, and maybe I'm talking to the master mason, the one who's been there for I don't know how many years, right? Maybe there's an artist. So I get to understand that field quite well, right? I'm not listening to a bunch of million things, thinking now that I know about them because I listen to Joe Rogan podcasts, right? And when I go home, well, there's not a million books. It's a big day. I'm tired. If I have a wife and she's hot, maybe I'll bang her. We have a nice meal. We relax. We talk about the day, and I go back and I start again. And I'm focused on my craft. Let's say I have an interest in a subject. Let's say I want to build a shed, or I want to construct something at home. I'm going to go see my neighbor who's a specialist at this, who's going to show me how to do it. I'm not going to go on the internet, watch a video about a guy doing this in 5 seconds and not pretend that I know how to do it. Right? And so-called knowledge wasn't accessible, or information. So if I really was interested, I had to go all the way to the library. And if it's a local library, maybe there's like 6 books. So if I'm really interested, I have to go to the university library, and then I have to find my way through the university library. And then I got to take a couple of books, and then I have to invest time reading. And after you read a couple of books, you realize you don't know shit all. You need to study technically 50 subjects to understand what you're reading. So you can be like, I'm not sure if I really want to do this. But I have a sense, I understand it better, but I will certainly not if I'm at a table. Let's say I went to the library because I wanted to learn about building planes, engineering, right? I will certainly not, at a pizza party, sit down and have an opinion about building planes. I'm going to listen to who's there, and maybe there's an engineer, or maybe there's a guy who actually works at the company and who builds planes. I'm going to ask him questions if I have an interest, because what the fuck do I know? I barely skimmed one book. Like I said, let's pretend you want to learn how to build a plane, or you want to learn about how planes work. You know how much you have to know and in how many subjects before we can talk about it, right? So now what do? You go on YouTube, you watch an accelerated video. It's like the history of Rome. It's 2,000 years. In 4 minutes, with little cartoons. I know the history now. It's not even 12 minutes, 4 minutes. Now I know. And now you're an expert. You're going to write your comments. And then next time you're hanging out with a bunch of friends who are as stupid as you, you're going to tell them the history of Rome, and then you're going to argue. So this kind of nonsense it's new. The way life was in the past, just by the lack of technological advancement or ease to acquire information, people were naturally humbled and in their own lanes. And then you didn't have a million choices. You do what you do, and then you become good at it. So if you place bricks for 10 years, you're fucking good at placing bricks. Not only that, you're good at understanding walls. You're good at understanding ceilings, which is a whole other kind of architecture. Because you're the one who builds the basic wall in which you put the ceiling. You start to understand the whole, if you're like attentive, of course. If you're just like half drunk, you're not going to know fuck all. But if you're attentive, you're going to learn the whole thing because you're right there and you're exposed to the knowledge and you're exposed to the mind of the person. You're in the mind of the person building it. All you got to do is be interested. And that's how I used to function back in the days. That's how Mason used to learn. You go, you're an apprentice, you learn, and you become a fellow of the craft. That means you understand the game, and then you eventually can grow into become a master Mason. Now you understand. Like you get it. You can be creative with it. So that will require a commitment for years. Your average person calls that slavery today. What? I'm going to do one thing and miss out the chance of having a million experiences and enjoy my life? Fuck it. So they go online and they acquire false knowledge that is basically cheap information, which they think is knowledge, and then they act like they know. This is the mind frame of your average individual today. But there still are real students. There's always been. I know real students. Dare I say I'm a good student? Dare I say, who am I to judge? You should ask my teacher. I don't know what he will say, but I trust that I would get a decent grade. So there always will be people who are genuinely interested to learn. But it feels like somehow at the point or the juncture we're at in time, the confusion has become so great in the mind of the young men, even the middle-aged men. The confusion is so great that you have to kind of like shatter something. Shatter the fantasy that you can be a superstar in a year, in 6 months. Somebody has to shatter that it's a delusion, which is supported in every media. You watch a movie, the person goes from a minus to a superhero in an hour and a half. This girl became the most powerful Jedi in like less than an episode. Right? It took Luke Skywalker 3 episodes. That bitch became supreme after like half of one. Right? So that is like that twisted mindset has been jacked into the minds of the men. Women also, but we're into men today. And you have to kind of like break that. And they don't want to let it go, because if you let go of your fantasy that you are already the best, or let go of the fantasy that you can learn in just 3 months and become a millionaire, you're confronted with something that your nervous system can't handle, which is the intensity of reality, the intensity of life, the intensity of demands of work, the required focus, discipline, commitment, passion, engagement to accomplish something over 10, 15, 20 years. You don't want to do that. You don't even have the strength to bear that reality. Now that's the truth of your average fellow. Your nervous system is so weak that you can't even face the fact that in order to accomplish what you would like or what you think you would like, it will take you years. You can't handle that. What? I'm going to have to do this? I'm going to have to go to school for like 12 years? Fuck it. So certain people do that. I won't remove that from them. But there's a growing majority of people and of men who are just, there's a despondency installed in them, a form of permanent depression. But you'll spend, 10 years playing a video game, and it's every iteration. So it's kind of the same, but a video game is, doesn't exist really. Anyways, this is what I had to say. There will always be teachers, and there will always be sincere students at a level. And I think that men need a little bit of guidance to better understand the process, because nobody taught us this, right? Nobody taught us that, in life is a process. It's not like this, and you may have, very deep desires. Yeah, but you have your whole life to get to them. You don't have to get them now. You have to come immediately. You could take some time. It takes time to build and enjoy the process. No, it's now, because I have to have it now, so I can go to the club now and show off now and get that girl now and come in her face now. Well, it's not I don't understand. I totally understand, because I've been through it, not as extreme as this generation. Ours was much lesser, but it's the same. You're an idiot. You don't understand the process. But you do read the cliches or the sentences and the quotes. Enjoy the journey. Oh yes, 5 more minutes and we're done in the journey and we're there. Yeah, so I think especially young men we need to talk to them and remind them that that's not how things work. And maybe, and I doubt it, there's one exception once in a blue moon, but it's not true. Just go study people who've succeeded. There's no such thing. I'll give you one exception just for the sake of conversation. That's not how it works. So how can you dedicate yourself to something for years, 10, 20, 30, 50, a whole life, unless you love it? But if your heart is frozen and you're numb, you don't know what you love. You can't feel yourself to feel what it is that you love. You love porn though. But you don't feel yourself to know what you love. And you let yourself be touched by that love, so it motivates you or pushes you to invest yourself on a path that will take your whole life, no matter what. You got to love something to do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if I'm doing what I'm doing, you may not totally know what I'm doing just yet, or you may have a sense of it. It's because I love it. There's no questions for me. I love it, and I love it every day more. And I want to do more of it. And there's cycles to my learning, and then it becomes tighter and clearer, and the focus becomes sharper. And I see the next level, the next ring up in my studies or in my discoveries. It's my life. If the whole world ceases to exist, I'm still doing this. If I have a wife and she's gone, I'm doing this. If I have a kid and he gets murdered, I'm doing this. If I lose a leg, I'm doing this. If I lose an ear, I'm doing this. If I have a stroke, I'm doing this. Ain't nothing changes for me. That's my life. If there's such a thing as a reincarnation, we'll talk about this another time. I'm continuing to do this. So my love is endless, it's eternal. I've been doing this, I am doing this, and I'm gonna do this. So, dare I say, the path of manhood is the path of the lion heart. You gotta have a heart, you gotta have love. Love has become a kitsch, love has become a weakness or a feebleness for your average. That's not love, that's an emotion. Don't confuse love and emotion. Love and emotion are two separate things. They have nothing to do with one another. They could meet sometimes, but love is love. Love is you. So if you don't love something, how could you devote yourself to it? How could you dedicate yourself to it? How could you be ready to die for it? It's not there. So now you're going to watch a movie where people die for whatever they love. And then you'll, what is that? Live vicariously through the fucking TV, you stupid prick. Right? You're going to shed a tear in the movie, or you're going to worship Kobe Bryant. I ain't got nothing against Kobe, God bless Kobe, but you're not fucking Kobe Bryant and he ain't got nothing to do with you, man. So get a life. But you can't get a life unless you get love. And if you don't have, so love is love, and love for a man it's special. It's the way a man loves is unique. So when that love is awakened in you, then you got love. Then when you meet a woman, that love can extend to her. She's a branch of your tree of love. If you cut that branch, you're like, whatever, dude, I'll grow another branch, or I'll just keep on loving what I love at the core. I'm going to say that again for all the Lorics out there. You love yourself, and that means you love your path, or you love what it is that you're really drawn to. And that expands and grows, and then you can expand that and share it with a woman, or share it with guy friends, or share it with a dog, for all that matters. And if somebody takes that away, don't change shit all for you. It's your love. You understand? It's my love. My love for my path. My love for this, let's say it's that subject or that orientation. That's my love. And then I let that love grow and grow and grow. And then when I meet a female that's resonant, the key word, resonant with me, I can share some of my love. And maybe she inspires me and she catalyzes my love. And we can share a moment and I can feel my love. And if she decides to run, it's my love. I didn't lose fuck all. It's a catalyst that went away. Farewell. Life goes on. So on that note, we'll stop that one.